before we look at people, we got to say, did something happen in the house of God that jacked them up?
Pray that this word, which is a very controversial word, will set people free today. They will understand that he who the Son sets free is free indeed. We give you glory and honor. We thank you for those who are here. We thank you for those on social media who are going to be touched and delivered because of your word today.
Before you talk about somebody, you got to first find out
where they came from.
That the house of God is to help people get delivered from their sins.
Heard somebody today, praise God, call God to become a millionaire. Call God to become a billionaire. I said to myself, can you first call God to save your soul? Praise the Lord. Because that's the most important thing. The text says, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? If we want to be a church of impact, we got to call it out and say, God, touch that man and that boy who was touched inappropriately, yes, in the house of God. And because the pastor wasn't in the right mind frame, that little boy came back home discombobulated because the pastor touched him in an inappropriate way. And we got to call it out and say, Satan, you're a liar. It's time for us to call it out and bring people back to God into deliverance and tell people right now that the Bible is right, but people can be jacked up. Y'all on social media, hear me loud and clear. Those in the congregation, hear me loud and clear. God is able to save from wherever you are in.
Then what they brought unto him little children.
Y'all with me here?
And the disciples rebuked them. There are people, my God, who call themselves disciples of God who are stopping little children being delivered. My God, when someone has been abused sexually, mentally, we call it in the medical community arrested development. And that means is that while they were matriculating from childhood to adulthood, they were arrested by an abuser. They were sexually touched them inappropriately, and they were abused and they were arrested, and that's why a lot of times I thank God for a spirit of discernment, that sometimes when people come to me, I don't see the adult, I see the child. And until the child is healed, the adult can't be healed. Until they get into a place and say, God, I'm coming to you just as I am. That's when God starts to heal them on the inside and tell them, in spite of man's touch, God has a greater touch. So before the enemy can do something, let God put his hands. And that's why Satan is so busy in the church with manipulators who have the clergy in a backwards collar, yet they're touching people inappropriately and jacking them up.